you to hit the like button at the beginning, because every time you hit the like button, you are letting YouTube know that what you are seeing and hearing is edifying for you, so it can be shared with others. That's why hitting the like button is so important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel.
It had to happen. Your title was so powerful. When I read the name of your ministry, it had to happen.
Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, and it had to happen for our Thankful Thursdays. And tonight, guys, our topic is from high school to the NFL. Let me tell you a little bit about my guest on tonight. He is the Coach Bam Bryant, man of God, husband, father, and he is entering his 7th season as a wide receiver coach, y'all. Y'all know I love my wide receivers. At Gulf Coast with a national championship, okay, and an array of school, and an array of school and NJCAA, okay, accolades with his wide receiver school. Shouts out to those wide receivers. However, this is year 21 overall in his coaching career, from high school to NFL. Man, you have to love the game to still be in it, from high school to NFL. So let me go ahead and introduce to some and present to others the Coach Bam Bryant. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh my God, it's such an honor to have you here on tonight. Thank you so much for booking with us. And we just want to hear all about this 21 years.
Yes.
Wow. And as I said, I love my wide receivers. My son was a wide receiver as well. But we all know they try to say that defense win the game, but we all know offense is, they played a part, right?
A huge part, because we travel by air.
Come on now, come on. So I read a little bit about you, Coach Bam. So I want you to go ahead and tell the audience, who is Bam Bryant?
I'm gonna say a young man from Central Florida, a place called Bartow, Florida. Grew up there in a place called Gordon Heights down in Bartow. Mom has 6 kids. Graduated from Bartow High School. Just been in football for a long time, and just a mentor as well when it comes down to football. And also now, I'm a husband, and obviously a coach and mentor, leader, father figure, and all the things above when it comes to this coaching career.
Wow, that is so awesome. But you did start from, I guess, a couple of years ago. We want to know who you were back then. Did you like football? What got you into football? Like, what was that like? I heard you say you have 6 siblings, right? Or a family.
Yes,
Okay, 6 siblings. So was football a part of the family, or that's just something that you picked up on your own?
It wasn't part of the family. I picked it up on my own. My dad, military, My uncles, they all was military, but I picked it up on my own. I was trying to find my ticket out of Florida, and the way I found my ticket out of Florida was sports. So, I did have an older brother that played baseball, and my two younger brothers, they played baseball. One tried football, but things didn't work out for them. I stuck with it, and I eventually, realized, hey, this is going to be my ticket up out of Florida. And along with, having a couple of my friends pushing me to stay into the sport, because at one point I just wanted to give up on it. I wasn't getting the attention that I was looking for. I was seeking rather. So, I eventually got it and stuck with it and had to get up out of Florida. And now sports was the answer.
Wow. That sticks out stuck out to me what you just said about, you didn't get actually the recognition that you thought that you should. And we all know how God works. God takes us through some things at times, and, I look a little hard and it don't look like what we think it should look like. But if we just keep putting our best foot forward, it come to pass. And I thank God that you were able to do that, because now you're entering into, many lives, because you've been in this thing 21 years. And I heard you say father figure. And a lot of times, in our community, a lot of the kids are coming in as what? They're coming from single parent homes, right? So to have someone like you stick with it says a whole lot about you, even when it didn't look right to you. So thank you for that. I truly, truly thank you for that. But what was it about Florida? Because I'm a Florida girl as well. I'm born and raised in Miami. What was it about Florida that you just had to get away from?
I would say just being in a small town. I was from Bartow, and I used to always hear that it's more than Bartow. You need to get away. You need to expand yourself out there throughout the nation. I mean, hey, let's get out of there. I mean, hey, do not have that small mindset to stay here. And my family was there, so it was hard for me to just pick up and leave them behind.
Yeah.
But I had to go out and venture out and see if that was true. If there's other places besides that Central Florida area, and they're in between Tampa and Orlando, and which I found out once I got involved in sports. And coaches started coming in and recruiting me, and I was going on visits and stuff like that, and just enjoying a different atmosphere, a different take on, life and sports at the same time, because all I knew is Bartow, and I didn't want to continue to stay in my comfort zone when folks was trying to push me out of there and just go out and visit other places.
That's one of the biggest things for me. And stepping outside of your box. There's so much more to life, but sometimes we get so complacent and we think like this is all we got. We can't, this is all I know. So I'm afraid fear robs us of so much. And here it is. I'm afraid to leave this town. I'm afraid to leave my family behind. But if I could go make a better living, maybe I could bring my family and they could be able to see some things as well. But I love that what you said, to get out of a small town, to kind of like spread your wings, basically. So what college did you end up at?
Leaving out, I ended up going to a small school in Iowa, Upper Iowa University, which was a D3 school, but they had a 2-year program and a 4-year program. Now, my mindset was to go to a junior college, but I had heard so many horror stories about junior colleges and stuff. I was going to I had like Garden City, Butler Community College in Kansas, but like I said, I heard a lot of horror stories that you gonna get into the junior college and you probably ain't gonna make it out. So I was like, I want to take this safe route, and so I went to Iowa, and I decided to go on to a 2-year program there. And once I finished up there, got my associate degree there, that's when I tried to get back into Florida with Florida State, Miami, Central Florida. And only school that really accepted me was South Florida at that time. Wow. And at that time, Tampa wasn't just the safest place to be at. And my mom said, I don't want you in Tampa. I just don't feel good about Tampa. And my mindset, anytime your parents tell you not to do something, you do it, bad things happen. So I had to pick my things up and head back to Iowa. And I went to Northern Iowa. I was there for about a week of camp. And after that week of camp, I got a phone call from the University of Arkansas.
Oh,
And
wow.
the University of Arkansas called me and asked me would I like that opportunity to come down. And what sold me to University of Arkansas, they say, hey, you up there in Northern Iowa. How many games your parents going to come to? I say, probably none. He say, well, how many of your games going to be aired on TV if they can't make it? I say, probably none. And he said, hey, you come here to the SEC in the South Eastern Conference, where we are aired in Florida, we're aired in Georgia, South Carolina. Hey, and then at the same time, we're close to Florida. So your parents can come and watch you play here, or if they can't make it, they can see you on TV. So that sold me, and I got on that plane and I flew down to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Wow. Oh my God. So you just was like on going on like it basically emotional roller coaster, because the thing is, like, I know I want to play ball, right? But
Yes.
here it is. What is best for me? Mom already told me, like Tampa, that's not it. And I used to love Tampa. I didn't know Tampa was so bad, but the thing about it is, one thing for sure, moms knows best. I'm gonna tell you that now. I'm gonna tell you. But you ended up back at Iowa. Then you got this ride over to Arkansas. What was that like? You're thinking about, oh my God, now my family can see me play. Now they possibly could come to some games. So what was going through your head?
What was going through my head during that time is, scared to make that transition, step out on faith during that time. And I had to do it, because at that point I was pretty much doing a lot of that stuff on my own due to, really didn't have that many family members that went to college and can really help me out at that time. So my thing was, hey, this is a great opportunity. I looked at University of Arkansas, looked at the location, looked at the environment, also checked out the crime rate and stuff like that, so my mom can feel real good about it. And I knew that there was a closer step to the NFL, a closer step, because, hey, we playing in the SEC, and that is the top conference. They say if you can play in the SEC and be very productive in the SEC rather, you can possibly play in the NFL. So that sold me as well. I was like, well, that's my goal. I want to play in the NFL. And then at the same time, I had to have a backup plan. I go to the meetings and I sit around and I observe the position coaches and how they carry out practice and meetings and stuff like that. I want to take those tools from those guys and place it in my toolbox. So when if the NFL did,
we're having some technical
hey, I'm gonna still be around football to get there at the University of Arkansas, and also being able to.
Can you hear me? Guys, please do bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties. Can you hear me?
Being able to be a step closer to the NFL.
Okay, I think we're having some technical difficulties. Can you hear me, Coach Bam? Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're cutting out every other word. You're cutting out. So, guys, please do bear with us. We're here with Coach Bam from the high school to the NFL. But, Coach Bam, you're cutting out every other word. So, if you can hear me. Perfect. So, you were saying that was getting you closer to the NFL, and you went to an SEC school, right? Hey, I see that you mentioned Florida State first, but, we're a U fan over here.
I can hear you, yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. I said you mentioned you of FSU first, but we're U fans over here. University of Miami, but it's all okay. So now you're at Arkansas, you're playing ball. What was the transition like? In case you may have someone that's under the sound of your voice that's listening in and maybe getting ready to take that transition. So what was that transition like, going from a D3 school to now the SEC?
Yeah. The transition for me, it wasn't hard because of the work ethic that I have and the drive that I have. I'm a self-motivator. The only thing that I would say is the speed of the game, the athletes, the size of the athletes, the strength of the athlete, how explosive the athletes come off the ball, how fast they play. those were some of the things that really stood out when I first got there. The guys basically welcomed me to the SEC. I remember just lining up one-on-one drill against Ken Hamlin. And Ken Hamlin, hey, he welcomed me to the SEC. I thought I was going to be able to get off the ball like I was up there at the D3 school, but it wasn't that easy to get there. But, you know, I really appreciate those challenges, and that's just like life. I mean, that area during that time at Arkansas playing football there, and how hard it was to be productive because the guys are either right there where you are or they're above you when you talk about the athletic ability. But it was a hard transition when you come down to, you know, being able to make plays and getting open and separation. But, you know, that D3 school, it was easy for me. It was easy. I had to adjust real fast.
Oh, wow. So you was a receiver?
Yes.
Boop, boop. Y'all know I love my receivers. I can't say that much. I mean, too much. But the thing is, Coach Bam, so now you said it was because of your work ethic, and a lot of people do not understand. You can't get what you don't put in. You know, you can't get out what you don't put in, right? So you knew that this is something that you wanted to do because this was your ticket right here. It was getting you closer to where your dream was. You wanted to be, you know, closer to the NFL. So here it is. Now I got to put my best foot forward, but I see these big old guys, and that was one of the things I worried about when my son went off to the league. I was like, whoa, you know, these are real big men. These are grown men that's playing this game, but it's your mindset.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have to be mentally stable for this game. And a lot do not understand that. They don't understand that you guys, the athlete, have so much on their plate. So maybe if you drop a ball, you know, don't be so hard on them. You know, they're still human, because there's going to be some balls dropped. There's going to be some games where you don't have such a great game. However, when you're getting out there, you're putting your best foot forward. As long as you know that you gave it your best, that's all that should matter. But I know that, you know, by you guys being such athletes and team players, you'd be like, oh man, you know, I should have caught that ball, or, you know, whatever it may be, how hard you guys get on yourself. But it says here, don't give up what you want most for what you want now. Look at it. Okay, it is the biggest obstacle that stands in the way of our happiness. So tell me, Coach Bam, what do you want most, and what do you want now?
What I want most is basically to see these guys very successful, especially the ones that come in touch with me and I get a chance to impact their life. As I mentioned earlier, when, you know, dealing with my players and I go out and recruit these guys, I sit in the house with their parents or whoever their guardians are. I tell them, when those guys see me, I want those guys to see me as a father figure, mentor leader, and a coach. So when they see me those three ways, and those first two is very important, because as a father figure, you know, you have a child, you want your child to be the best at everything they do. And that's what I want my players to do. I want them to be the best student athlete, the best student in the classroom, best athlete on the field. And at the same time, just mentor. Like you say, I got 21 years up on my belt doing this right here. So I don't met with several individuals, living situation, whatever it may be. I have experienced it, so they can come in my office and sit down and let's talk. So that's what, you know, as of right now, that's what I want to be able to impact these young men's life. But on the other hand, the other question is, you ask, what do I want right now?
Yes.
And right now, I got to be where my feet are, and they're in Mississippi. But what I really want right now is the NFL. I want to get the chance to coach on the NFL level. And those goals there are goals I've been having for a long, long time.
Well, good things come to those who wait. So just keep speaking it. I see here that you are a man of God. So tell God what you want. Like Habakkuk 2:2 says, write that vision and make it plain. You know, you have a lot of years in this thing, and that says a lot. Like, you really have a love for the game. But not only that, you're coming into so many family lives. You know what I'm saying? And you say you're sitting on their couch, because I know when I had to go through that with my son, I want to know what you're talking about. And I want you to know what you're talking about, because guess what? You're basically going to be that father, like a father figure for my son when he's up under you all of that time, right? So again, God maybe have you in Mississippi for a reason, right now. But if that's your heart desire, yeah, tell him that's what you want. But whatever your will is for me, Lord, that's what I will do. But to have 21 years, it says, again, I can't say enough that you're doing such an amazing job. And also, too, shouts out to our Facebook family, our YouTube family, and our Instagram family. Thank you all for tuning in here with us tonight. Oh, and LinkedIn. I'm so sorry about that. Guys, from high school to the NFL, we have the coach Bam Bryant here with us on tonight. And he has 21 years in the game, y'all. All the way from high school to the NFL to coaching. Come on now, Coach Bam. If you had a young man or that was under the sound of your voice right now, and he may want to step out, into the coaching arena, what would be your words of encouragement to him?
What I would tell him is basically trust the process. That's what it is. I mean, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Because if you sprint through this coaching thing, you're gonna miss a lot of steps. And then when you get to where you want to get to, with as far as that blessing, and you get in a situation you can't answer that situation, you're not gonna be there long. So I would say, if you really do want to be a coach or any sports, I would say what you need to do is you need to find you a strong mentor, someone that's been in it for a while, that knows the game, knows the in and out with recruiting and dealing with players, because that interpersonal communication skills is huge in this career. When you talk about any sports, you got to be able to relate to these players. And at the same time, as we mentioned earlier, when you go in and recruiting these parents as well, these parents are going to pick your brain and see exactly who you are and what you bring to the table. You go in their house and you start stumbling over words, or you start stumbling over the activities that the player's going to have once he at your university or your college. I mean, they're going to want to question that. So I would say get some strong mentors that can definitely help you out in this career.
Yes, and you definitely have to be a team player. You cannot be an eye player in this game. It just will not work, right?
No.
But being though that you wear so many hats, you're a husband, you're a father, you're a man of God, and you're a coach. So here it is, where do you find time for Coach Bam? And it says here, many people live habitually, right? And don't make time for the things that bring them joy. Because we're so worried about, and I'm reading this book now, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think every person should read this book, because a lot of times we're working, right? And we're looking at making more money to save, right? Which would be the ideal thing to do. However, where do you find time in that enjoying yourself? So what are some of the hobbies? Remove everything. What are some of the hobbies that bring you joy, Coach Bam?
I would say when we do get that off time is spending all that time with my family. Especially when my kids are getting older and off to school, and my son starting the family, and my wife, she loves to travel and stuff like that. Those are the things that I want to focus on my family, because there's a lot of folks in this career. You're pouring so much into this job, and then when you come home, there's nothing in the tank. Now, I was guilty of that before. And I had to make sure that I find a balance between this job and my family. Because sometimes I remember early on in my career, my daughter's just always, Dad, you're not on the football field. We're not your players. We're your kids. So, I had to sit back and do a lot of self-evaluation and understand, there got to be some time that I got to put football down, because this is a career. This is a career. My life is my family. When this career is over, I got to make sure that I still got a great relationship with my kids and my wife. So, that's the thing. I want to focus on my family on my off time. I want to find the things that they want to do that makes them happy, that I'm going to adjust and I'm going to do it.
Right.
I just enjoy my family away from football.
Right. And see, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I thought that's what my son would do once he finished, retire from football. But the thing about it is, he mentioned that too. The same thing you said. It takes so much of your time away from your family. And he was a newly father. So now I just want to enjoy my kids right now. But to know that you're giving everything that you got, but then hearing your daughter say, Dad, we're not your players. We're not ball players, basically.
Yeah.
Here it is. So I'm thinking that you were kind of like not turning off work and bringing work home.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's a downfall. That is a huge downfall. Can't do that. Mm-mm.
Wow. So what would you tell someone now how to just turn off? Because not just with football or coaching or things like that, when you leave your job, you need to know how to turn off. And I probably need that advice more than anything because after these shows, I don't know how to turn off. I'm just planning the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But you have to know how to turn off and really enjoy the remainder of your day. So what is it that you could give the coaches out there or a ball player? What can you tell them about turning off and definitely getting some me time in?
I would say basically it would start with you and that head coach that you're with, that y'all have a great relationship, and like I tell folks all the time, a lack of communication, a lack of understanding leads to failure. So the guys that I coach with understand, even the head coaches understand that, hey, it's my family that I'm going to be with when I'm not away from when I'm away from the job. That's what I want to do. I want to focus on them. When I'm at the job, I'm going to give you everything I got. I am going to make my phone calls to these players, recruiting. I'm going to give you my all at practice, at the weight room, or wherever we at. But when I go home, man, hey, that is my time. My time, my life is not all football. I just can't do it in that. And then, if a coach don't accept that, that means I don't need to be at that school. I need to find another school. I want to find a school that's based on family as well, the coaches. And there's a lot of head coaches out here in this league that understands that, because you'll see some of the head coaches, they invite your families to come in. They want your kids around. They want your wife around and stuff like that, because they know how much time it takes away from them. And you can't get that time back, because some programs, you leave home, the kids and the wife in the bed sleep. Then when you come back home, the kids in the bed sleep, wife is up though. But you don't want that type of life, and I don't want to be able to do that. So, I think it'd be a great job to get a good understanding with that head coach of who you really are. And again, a lack of communication, lack of understanding leads to failure. So the coaches that I'm gonna work with, they're gonna know, hey, I'm family. Anytime I do an interview, and especially a Zoom interview, I'm putting my family up there, and they're gonna see all of us on that picture. And this is why I do it. This is my support team. So I want to make sure that you understand that, hey, I'm a family man as well. I have a family outside of football.
Right.
And again, when this career is over, hey, I gotta have them.
Exactly. But take us back, because the thing is, now you're speaking from a coach point of view, because we all know too, like, even then, let's go to college, your collegiate years, right? Your collegiate years, I know you have sometimes two practices a day.
Mm-hmm.
You have workouts, you have study hall, you just have so much to do. Now, did you have kids when you was in college, or no? You just basically had time to focus on you?
And I had time to focus on me. I mean, that was the main thing. I felt like, I had time for the kids, but right now I need to make sure I get myself together before they come in. If I don't get myself together before they come in, there's going to be a struggle. And I didn't want to take them through that struggle.
Wow. Wow. Guys, we're here live tonight with Coach Bam, listed from high school to the NFL. Man, Coach Bam been doing this thing for 21 years, y'all. And he is what? A wide receiver coach, y'all. Man, he's in Mississippi right now. He has some great jewels that he's been dropping here on tonight. But Coach Bam, we all know too, like, if you never ever decide to make a change, some people, like to hold us to our past, right? But we know that we grow daily. I know that I do. You grow daily, because guess what? From out of all the failures, you're able to I hope learn something from it and take something positive out of it, and then use it, use it for your growth. So it says here too, you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily, not every other day, but daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. But watch this. What habits, Coach Bam, do you want to eliminate?
Oh man. I would say, especially what I would like to eliminate, it's a lot of things that you would like to eliminate, especially on this level, but you can't. And you have to understand where you're standing at, as far as, disciplining the guys. I like to eliminate that. I had to wake these guys up and make sure they go to class. I like to eliminate that. Those things that these guys should be able to do on their own.
Yeah.
On this level. But with us being a junior college, this is like a second chance for those guys. And those guys have to understand that we're trying to help those guys. So once they leave here and go to their next school, there's not going to be nobody doing what we're doing, waking you up and doing all that kind of stuff. If I can eliminate those things, those guys not handling business and being responsible and stuff like that, those are things that I would really want to eliminate. Other than that, I really don't have anything else I would say that I will eliminate it, especially in this career.
Wow, that is awesome. So that means you love the game. You love what you're doing. You definitely love what you're doing. But see, that's one of the things too. I would think, since it's like a second chance, that you will be working harder. You will be making sure, like, I got all my I's dotted, all my T's crossed. Like, it shouldn't be a forced thing. But sometimes some need more help than others. And it's great that you're doing that for them. But isn't that almost like a handicap? Because if they do go to the next level, like you say, you may not have that.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. I would say it is a handicap to that. And especially, I'll give you an example. During the summer, when we're in summer camp, we practice early in the morning. So we want to make sure that we have all our players there. So I would go every morning and wake everybody up. So they gave me this new name, is the wake up coach. So I go wake everybody up and making sure that they are there at practice, in meetings and stuff in the morning. But after camp was over, after that summer camp was over, I told them, hey, I have did my part routine for 4 weeks to get you guys ready for this here. So now you are on your own. But they did a great job for the most part. All the players did a great job is getting up and stuff like that, because they had to be grown as far as understanding the culture here and the things that we expect those guys to do. And at first, I would say I was a crutch for them and handicap, or whatever you want to call it. But, eventually they adapt to what was going on here at Gulf Coast.
And like you say, we say it could be a hit, but again, some need more help than others. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So, and it's okay at some point, but some point it do have to click on for them that you have to want this thing. We can't want it for you, right? Exactly. But that just shows that you have a caring heart, and that's why you've probably been doing this thing for 21 years, because you have people that like, okay, this is just my job. Yeah, like, you're here, and if this is another thing our kids don't realize, you're basically doing your resume for a job. Exactly. Because you're setting yourself up for the next 40, 50 years of your life. So you have to learn how to put things in order, you see? And if I can't get up when I'm supposed to be at, to do my work, how am I going to go ahead? First of all, you have to know how to read the playbook, correct?
Exactly.
So education is definitely number one. Definitely. Because if you don't have that education, you probably can't even read that playbook. No. You see, what do you have to fall back on? Because you don't NFL, you know what they say, not for long.
Exactly.
And here it is, what happens after football? You have to have something to fall back on. So during this time, you're going around, you're knocking on these doors. Are they getting up? Do they give you a hard time? Like, what is that like?
Oh, well, I wish I could show some of the videos of those guys. I mean, especially those freshmen. Oh Lord, you ought to see the look on their face when I'm there and they wake up. But you know, it got to a point that the guys was already up by the time I knock on the door and I turn on the light. They got their phone trying to record me because I got a speaker with me playing music as well and dancing, bringing a lot of energy. Because I know a lot of them, they're not morning person. I'm a morning person. Hey, coach, you drink, what you doing? Drinking coffee, coach? I don't need coffee. I'm full of life. I get another opportunity at this coaching and mentoring and being a father, being a husband. I get another a chance at this. Man, I am, that's my passion and that's my energy. I get a chance to do it all over again. But it's fun. I enjoy just try to bring a lot of excitement to the guys when I'm waking them up. Again, they starting to adapt to it. They had fun, and then coach, you need to start your own YouTube channel. Now I ain't got time for all that. But it was a great experience just going around waking those guys up for 4 weeks straight before I left off to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh my God! Wait, so they say you need to start a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Oh, listen, your daughters can run it. Just I don't have that type of time.
Yeah, I don't want to be in front of the cameras.
Well, there you go. And then you said before you went off to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So is that the team that you played for?
That was the intern that I did during the summer.
Oh.
With the Steelers when I was up there coaching. It was the Bill Walsh Fellowship program, which gives minority coaches opportunity to get on that level and get that experience and get in front of coaches. And there's a huge network for you with all the NFL teams, and also being able to go to like the Senior Bowls as well and coaching those guys that's leaving the college level, getting ready for the draft. So, I mean, it's a lot of different connections doing that right there. It was a huge experience. I love it. I love it.
Wow. Well, see, you were auditioning. That's just like these kids are doing when they're getting ready to go off, you know. But the thing is, you got in the room. You were in the room. So now who knows what may transpire from, you know, from that point when you did your internship to what God is, you know, baking up on the back, or, you know, on the back end of it, because he know your heart's desire. Now, this is my thing, though, Coach Bam. You see that at the collegiate level that you're coaching on, what happens when you make it to the NFL and go to coaching? Now, that is, I believe, to be more demanding, would you say?
I would say yes, it is more demanding as far as time-wise, especially doing camp when you're trying to get that roster together, the players that's going to be productive on the field. Everything that we had to go through during that time period, there's a lot of meetings, one-on-one meetings, unit meetings with the head coach. I mean, you meet a lot, and being able to manage your room, especially for instance with us with the receivers, we had to manage the room. Just working there with Coach Zach. I mean, that's a great experience. I appreciate the things that he taught me and the things that he allowed me to do, because I was able to have hands-on, because that's what Coach Mike Tomlin told us. He said, hey, y'all are intern. Y'all are here for a reason. I want y'all to get hands-on, because that's how he really entered the NFL, by going through that same program. And what he does, he take that program real serious, and he want us to be able to come in and experience that as well. And eventually, you know, get all the connections that we need, not just only with the coaches, but also the players as well.
That is such a great experience to hear that Coach Tomlin, you know, he did that. And this is why I say, like, how could somebody tell you how to do something if they haven't done it, basically, or been through it? So you said that's basically how he got on. So he's reaching back down and extended his hand out for some of the coaches to come in and get this same experience that he probably got, you know. But we're dealing now in such a me society. I was just talking yesterday on a prayer broadcast. It's so much crab mentality. It's like when you're trying to get up out of the pot, you have people that's pulling you down. And we're forgetting that if we do make it out the pot, you know, come back in and grab somebody. to get them out, show them the way. And I see that 21 years, you had to be able to do that, Coach Bam, because you would never be able to last that long in coaching. You see? So you got that amazing experience with the Steelers, go Steelers. I remember, my son played up there and I ended up falling in that snow and jamming my finger.
Oh,
Yeah, it was crazy, but it was great. It was a great atmosphere. So how was that? Did you attend the game? Because it was crazy for me.
well, I supposed to have stayed up until the first preseason game
Okay.
against the Houston Texans, but I had to leave a week early before that to get back to my job down here in Mississippi Gulf Coast because we were starting our camp and I didn't want to be a week behind.
Okay.
But we did get a chance to experience that because what they do is something real unique. They go to St. Vincent College there and they do their camp during that time for at least a month or two. And while they're doing their camp, they also go to the local high school there to help the high school out as far as fundraising. So they will take a practice there. And when we pulled up, we didn't expect to see what we saw. I mean, the stadiums was crowded. I mean, folks was packed in the stadiums on both sides, and folks are standing around the fence. I mean, it was crowded as if we were there in the Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium. But that atmosphere gave me a feel of just how it would be if I was actually there. But, I hate that I didn't get that experience to be inside for that first preseason game, but I got a little taste when we went to the high school to help the high school out with their fundraiser and their funds for that season.
Wait a minute now. You got a NFL experience from a high school? Oh, they was doing the darn thing. Oh, yes, absolutely. But I'm telling you, it is up there is such a great atmosphere. But the thing is to hear that you say you got that experience from just attending a high school, man, that is so awesome. So we're going to move on to this next question. It says, create a life that feels so good on the inside, Coach Bam, not one that just looks good on the outside. Because, we could walk around here dressing things up and making it look good, right? But it says, what are some of your personal top 5 life values? You're going to help somebody with this one.
I would say the top 5 is, obviously, respect. Respect. You have to respect others and the things that they're doing. Also, I would say, your character, who you are, because, I tell my players there's 2 things that you really don't want to tear up in life, and that's your character and your credit. Also, I tell them basically being dependable, because as a coach and taking these kids from their homes and bringing them up here to our school, the parents got to depend on me to take care of that kid if that kid has a bad day or whatever. Accountability will be another one when you talk about dealing with those kids, and and also me being able to teach those kids what it means to be accountable out there on the field. And the other one I would say, just being loyal to not just the program, but being loyal to the kids and their parents and stuff like that as well. So I would say those would be the 5 that come off the top of my head when they talk about, me internal.
That last one is the one. That loyalty is something serious. That's something serious. So we have what? Dependable. We have accountability. We have loyalty. We have what was the other? Character and respect. And that's one of the things too that I know for sure. Your character, you definitely want to make sure that you keep that intact, because again, I love what you put with that. Your character and your credit. And see, some of the things they don't tell us when you're going through your collegiate years, they throw all kind of credit cards your way.
Yes.
So If you don't know, you're a student. You're thinking like, oh my God, like, oh, I got some credit. I got not knowing that you may go out and spend $10 on a meal, but it's really going to cost you 20 because you probably won't pay the $10 off for a while. You see what I'm saying? So your credit is now messed up. And I never ever knew that credit was such an important thing. And I really think that's something that should be taught and embedded in our children, because at the end of the day, your credit says a whole lot about you as well. You know? And if you don't have that credit and that character, like I said, I love that you put those two together. Man, that's a lot. Respect. You're talking about respect. You have to give it to get it. You want folk to respect you, right? But here it is. Are you giving the respect that you think that they should give you? You know, loyalty, you know, going hand in hand with that crab in a bucket mentality. Okay, well, if it's not happening for me, I want that to happen for you. So if I know something that can enhance you or get you to the next level, I'm not going to tell you because I'm going to gatekeep it. Oh, you can't do that. So I'm loving everything that you gave here, which was your top 5 life values. That says a whole lot too, Coach Bam. Man, I'm loving this, y'all. And if y'all don't know, if my cousin is on here, Kier, shouts out to you, honey bun. Shouts out to you. He was so, gosh, you're interviewing somebody that I know. Yes. And I'm so honored, Coach Bam, that you book with us. And I'm telling you, this don't have to be your last time here. The floor is definitely open anytime you want to come back and share some more information, because I'm telling you, I believe what God is going to do for you. He's going to give you your heart's desire. So if you desire to be coaching in that NFL, again, Habakkuk 2:2, write that vision and make it plain. Don't tell them. You can tell them, but you got to write it.
Exactly.
Write it out. You understand? And I hope and just no, I pray that you make it to where you want to be, because at the end of the day, you got 21 years in this thing. So you got to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And you got to get out there and help my wide receivers.
Love it. Love is a passion for those guys. I love it.
Oh my God, the route running, you know, like one of the things I think a wide receiver should do is take a dance class. Do you agree?
Some of them do. Some of them really want to show out and stuff like that. And, you know, I just don't want that cloth out there on the field for them celebrating or whatever. But yeah, someone needs to take that, especially, or unless you're saying it for the hip and the route running.
Correct. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying for it. Yes. And that helps you with your techniques, right? Yeah. And another thing too, you know about the game of ping pong, right?
Oh yeah. You're basically hand-eye coordination. Hand-eye coordination.
See, I know something, right? I know I know something.
Oh yeah, you know.
All right. But you know, we talked in the beginning and we were saying how a lot of people think that defense win games. I'm such an offense girl. Again, I love my receivers. But the thing about it is who put the points up?
Oh yeah.
All right.
we definitely gonna do that now.
Yes. So if you had a chance and you have a parent that may be on here and they're under the sound of your voice and they're thinking about, okay, well, I have my kid that may be away, because when you first went away, you went a long way, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe you have a parent that's on here and their kid is so far away. What can you tell them to kind of comfort them a little bit, to let them know that your kid gonna be okay?
Well, I would say with nowadays that we have the technologies that we have, with the FaceTime and social media, with the message on our Facebook, that is the way that, you know, you can stay in contact, because that's a lot better. So when I was there, my mom, she played the lottery ticket, the scratch off ticket. I'm not sure you remember, on some of the scratch off tickets, you get like a free 5-minute phone call or whatever. And my mom used to mail me bags full of that so I can call her. And, you know, she never got a chance to see me until I came home for Christmas. And, you know, been gone from July to December. I mean, that's hard. that was real hard on me. But I had to put on my big boy pants and understand I'm on a mission.
Wow.
And my mom understood that too. And I tell folks right now, I remember she put me on that Greyhound bus. I think she's still crying to this day when she put me on that bus to get up there to Iowa. But I would say, parents, you got this FaceTime, the social media and stuff like that. You can always see them and talk to them, because they're just like me with my daughter. She's at school up there in Fayetteville, and I want to see her a lot, but I don't get a chance to get up there due to my career. So I have to FaceTime her, and then my other daughter had to FaceTime her as well, and then my son, him and his family, I had to FaceTime them as well. So the FaceTime, it means a lot. To some people it don't, but to me it means a lot, because I can see my kids every day. I can see the changes with them, see what they're doing and stuff like that. So, but back in the days when I was there, like I said, my mom had to send me a bag full of scratch off tickets with the free 5-minute calls.
Wow, I didn't know anything about that one. That's new.
Oh yeah, we didn't have the cell phones,
No.
and then being in Iowa, I didn't have BET, so I mean, it was hard, just like you say, your cousin Ken, he can vouch for that as well, because we was up there together.
Let me tell you, see, that's why I say for this game, you really have to be mentally there.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not that the outside should be putting so much pressure on the athlete, because they have a whole lot that they're dealing with. We should try to make it as easy as possible. And I was one of the fortunate ones that my son was only 30, 45 minutes away from me, because I lived in Miami, and that's the school that he ended up going to. But I just like to be able to, from July to December, I'm like, whoa. So I can understand mom's pain. You understand? She putting her baby on that bus to go way to Iowa, and here it is. She don't know when the next time she really gonna see you. But God, she was able to lay eyes on you. You did exactly what you wanted to do. You excelled in it. You got 21 years, not just on the field, but you're still on the field, but you're just on the field as a coach. You see? And now you have so many kids that's looking up to Coach Bam, looking at Coach Bam. What you say they call you again?
The wake-up coach.
The wake-up coach. Okay. So they got Coach Bell, the wake-up coach. So for my last question, it says, in the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. What is holding you back from getting what you truly, truly want? And what are you going to do about it?
I would say that was really holding me back. I don't know if it's holding me back, or I wouldn't say it's holding me back. It's just being able to get that. Let's back up. I would say what's holding me back is they changed this rule in the on the college level that high school coaches and junior college coaches, when the P4, they call it P4 now. P4 schools have these mega camps and stuff like that. You got all these coaches coming, and you get to help out with the camps, and you get to display your talent and your relationship with the players during that 2-hour time. And those coaches get to evaluate you as well. But we can't do that anymore, because if your school is being recruited, you can't do that. And that was holding me back for that opportunity. That was holding me back. Now, I'm glad that I got that chance to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers and do that intern for 2 weeks, because that's what I needed. That's what I was missing. That was holding me back. And I also had this conversation with Coach Tomlin, me and him one-on-one, and he was shocked that they don't do that. They don't allow us to do that. And I told him, I told him, man, I really appreciate you guys selecting me for this experience right here, because I haven't did this since 2015. That was the last time I was able to display myself in front of a P4's program. But me being able to go to the NFL, that helped me a whole lot. So I would say that's the only thing that's really holding me back. And at this time, I can only control what I can control. That situation there, I can't control it. So, that's why when I had the opportunity to go up there to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I didn't hold back at all. Everything that I knew that I have, the 21 years of experience, I laid it all on the field up there, and I got a great evaluation, and they just told me, hey, coach, be patient. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be where my feet are, and that's here at Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I'm going to let everything ride out throughout the NFL, and then hopefully, that opportunity to come back in December. That'd be a great Christmas gift, not only for me, but my family as well. And I know that my wife would really enjoy it as well.
Wow. So shouts out to you, Queen Bryant. God bless you, Queen. But oh my God, let me tell you, the thing is, I didn't know it was coming back up in December. See, the thing is, you have to speak those things. Even if it don't happen right now, just start speaking it. Like I am that coach, the next coach that's in the NFL. You say here, like, hopefully, you have to. See, that's what we have to learn, how to speak those things. I don't know what's happening here. Hi, Queen. God bless you. Look at your wife, Christina. God bless you. Yes. But that's so great. And I would want to know, like, how would that be? Because you're in Mississippi now. Mm-hmm. And you will have to make a transition to wherever they send you, right? So do you have small kids that we would have to uproot? Because I'm sure the Queen wouldn't mind going.
No. Like I say, our kids are pretty much grown at this point. My youngest have one more semester of high school, and she'll be out to Fayetteville, Arkansas, joining her older sister. And my son, he's started his beautiful family already down here on the coast of Mississippi. And so all we got is my wife and our little dog, Rocco.
All right, well, Rocco and Queen, get ready, Queen. I'm telling you, I'm really I'm really praying that you get blessed with your heart's desire. Because again, you're doing this for 21 years. That alone should speak for itself. Like you really know what you're doing. Not just know what you're doing, but having the heart to do it. Because you could be in something, but if your heart is not in it, you're just wasting time.
Exactly.
Sit. So I'm going to open up the floor because we're right here at the close of our segment. I'm going to give the floor over to you, and however God used you, just go ahead and maybe speak to anyone that may be under the sound of your voice. It could be, as far as uprooting your family, you just have the Queen and Rocco, so you won't be uprooting so much. So let's do. I would say let's do that transition again. Let's go back to that transition where you went from Florida to Iowa, from Iowa to the SEC. Come on, Coach Bam, tell us about that. Just encourage somebody.
Well, I would say, again, I'm just huge on trusting the process and huge on understanding that is basically self-motivation. And at the same time, when we talk about self-motivation, just surrounding myself around people with the same goal, optimistic mindset. I had to step out on faith, leaving, again, my family back in Florida and traveling up to Iowa and open myself up and trusting the folks up there in Iowa that they're going to take care of me because no family there in that area. Then leaving from Iowa and taking that flight down there to the University of Arkansas was another opportunity for me to step out on faith and trust what I was out there, the goals I was out there. And then, we all have short term, we have long term goals. And, I was trying to check off every box, because I only get one shot at this thing that's called life. So, you have to step out on faith and you have to bet on yourself. And then, playing there in at the University of Arkansas and then having an opportunity to try out for the NFL and got an agent, and the agent trusts me and believed in me and flew me down to Dallas to try out with the Dallas Cowboys. And things didn't work, but I didn't give up. And I told myself at that point, I'm going to get back on the NFL level. And it may not be as a player, but it's going to be a coach because I want that experience. I want that taste, and I'm going to do it. and just having that desire and don't have that quit. And, again, just surrounding myself around a bunch of people with the same mindset, optimistic, and surrounding myself with a bunch of mentor leaders. I mean, right now, one of my huge ones is my former coach, Houston Nutt. I talk to him on a weekly basis at times, and just listening to him, and he continued to motivate me and fire me up as well to stay in this career. But again, I know that 21 years, I mean, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and I think I got another 15 in me. But again, you just got to just trust the process, don't give up. Understand, I mean, you're gonna have your ups and your downs, and I mean, I don't been a lot of places, and I've seen a lot of things as well with this career. But I would say, bet on yourself, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I told my wife when I left from here, and everybody was down. Can you think you can coach on the NFL? You think you can coach on the NFL? And I started doubting myself. To be honest, I started doubting myself, but I had to get those folks out the way and get back focused because I'm betting on me. And I had to get my mind right. And, and that's what it was. Me just getting my mind right and get back focused, because I had a lot of folks doubting. And then I started doubting myself. But I'm going to bet on myself. And I know eventually, before it's all said and done, within these next 10, 15 years, I'm going to get the taste to be on that NFL level once again.
Amen. And I'm rooting for you. I am rooting for you. And the thing about it is, something so important that you said is very, very imperative of the company that we keep when we're on a mission. You see, because we don't need anyone taking anything out. We need someone pouring in, replenishing. What if this is my goal or my dream? I need people around me that can speak life into that dream, not taking away from it. You think right there, they don't even understand, like, that's a little dagger. You think you can coach on an NFL level? And the Bible tells us we could do all things through Christ who strengthened us. Okay. So that should not even be a question if you know the person that I am and you know the work ethic and the mental guys, again, they have to be there in order to do what coach is doing or to even be an athlete. You have to have that. So Coach Bam, I am so honored again for having you on tonight. It was such an honor. And every jewel that you dropped here, I pray that someone took something from it, because this is not an easy task. This road that you're on is not an easy task. So again, I definitely have to shout out to Queen Bryant. God bless you, Queen, because you have to be that strong individual that's standing behind your husband and keep pushing him forward. Because there's going to be some days he's going to come home weak, drained, or whatever it may be. But just know that be his peace when he get home, because a lot of times, not just on that coaching level, our community deals with a whole lot. So when they come home, they need to be replenished. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So again, Coach Brian, keep on keeping on. I know that God can and he will bless your heart desire. And hear me what I say, Habakkuk 2:2, like I said, write that thing down and continue to remind him. He's our Father. We could keep reminding God of what it is that we want, So I'm trusting that he's going to get you where you want to be. So again, this floor is open anytime you want to come back. I would love for you to come back with the Queen, because we want to hear what it's like as to be your rib and that's there, that going through these steps with you, because I'm sure that has to be hard as well. I'm a mom of an athlete, so I know how hard it was, but just to know a wife of not just an athlete or a coach.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure she have a lot to talk about in that situation now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because I could not even imagine, But if you guys want, you definitely could use that same link to book to come back on. We do have our NFL mom shows on Monday. If you want to book a Monday, that's perfectly fine as well. Or you could book any Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, because now our prayer broadcast is on Wednesdays. But I definitely would love to have you both back, because I'm very, very interested in hearing how her journey to hear her journey as well. And, we have this group here, Mothers of Motivated Sons. And what we do, we want to find out what it is that other mothers needing. Because Coach Bam, when guys like you came and sat on my couch to speak to my son, I don't know what y'all talking about. So I had to walk the walk. We had to walk the walk so we could be able to talk the talk. And we're just want to pour back into other mothers that may be getting ready to go through this thing or actually going through this thing. Because Coach Bam, y'all go out, you have your camps. Your kids is basically there to do what?
Yeah.
Learn plays, learn drills, and do all of that. But what are the parents getting on the other side? What are they taking from that camp?
Hopefully they're taking a lot and not just a t-shirt.
Exactly. But the thing is, it should be what we're trying to implement, what we're going to implement. Look at me telling you what, start speaking. But what we're going to implement is we're able to speak to the parents, about what it is you should look for, shouldn't look for, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. We're only telling our experiences. Hopefully, we're not gatekeepers, basically, bottom line. If it worked for us, this is what could possibly work for you and your son or your athlete. So that's what we have going on at Mothers of Motivated Sons. Again, I would love to have you and Queen back on the show because I definitely want to hear that. But for you guys that's out there in the building, on live, our viewers, we're forever grateful for you all because we cannot do this without you, and you. And guys, guess what? If you have not hit that subscribe button as well as the notification button to let you guys know every time we go live here, please do so now. Because guess what? It is for free. That's all you have to do. It is a click of a button. All right. So Coach Bam is out in the Mississippi area. How can one find or follow your journey? Do you have any social media outlets?
I have a Twitter page that I use for recruiting and also highlights of my career. And you can find it on Coach Bryant, basically one word, _WR. And that's on Twitter.
All right, we have it here, and this is on Twitter. So shouts out again to our Facebook family, our YouTube family, and LinkedIn family, as well as Instagram. You guys hung in there with us on tonight. And again, we're forever grateful for having you all join us on tonight and hearing Coach Bam drop all of these jewels. Let me tell you something. I pray that somebody took something, even if it wasn't for you. Share this broadcast with someone that may be getting ready to take this journey or on this journey, and maybe they could take something from this as well. So God bless you all. Coach Bam, we don't like leaving this broadcast. We love to show love. We send out some virtual hugs and some virtual love. Look, y'all gonna get some hearts today. Wait, what my heart's at? Oh, there you go. And we love.
I don't get the hearts.
Well, it's on the mat. See, if I put my thumb up some way you get a thumbs up. It do all kind of craziness, but I love it because it goes right into the show. But again, guys, meet me back here on Monday for our NFL Mom show. Guys, please do have the most amazing remainder of your day and a great weekend. Guys, please do be safe. Coach Bam, again, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Who referred you again?
She gonna get on me.
Ryan? James
yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I did one with her. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So shouts out to you, James Setter. Thank you so much. And this is what I love. If you have someone that you want to refer over, please do so. They can use that link. Oh, that's what I didn't say, guys. If you would like to book with your girl, please do go to my website at www.ericawilson.ih2h.com. I love to have you. And you could be an amazing guest, just like Coach Bam. Coach Bam, thanks again. Guys, have the most amazing day ever. God bless you all. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, too.
You're welcome.